Hello and good Tuesday, and thank you for spending a little time with us this evening. A day that started off on a chilly note, that 40-degree morning lingering for a few hours, certainly putting the chill on. High pressure still in charge and still giving us a few more days of some really nice weather. A couple of cold fronts, though, are working their way into the forecasting area, the first of which will give us some cooler air, a chance of some showers, and then we'll talk about what happens down the line thereafter. But not as nice as what we have seen, and still talking about the potential for some significantly cooler air just around the corner. Tonight's headlines and main points of focus will be the resignation from Paintsville Mayor Bob Porter last night in the regular session of the Paintsville City Council that I spoke of last evening, and also latest developments per court records filed just today in the case of the federal government versus the last defendant in that case, that being Paintsville businessman Euless Grace. We'll talk football and hear from an elementary coach, and a follow-up from an announcement that I just couldn't keep to myself last night about some champions, 5th and 6th graders, and how some 7th and 8th graders are looking to obtain the same status with the next leg of postseason play tonight. Got a few plays to show you. That's a really nice report. Glad to bring it to you in just a few moments. Only one other report from around the region before we do focus on local news and information that I've just mentioned. A man in Breathitt County has died. It actually goes back to a crash that took place last week, Friday of last week, in the Watts community. 58-year-old Jimmy Neese of Lost Creek reportedly was operating a vehicle when he pulled into the path of another vehicle on Kentucky 15. Neese was pronounced dead as a result of the collision. As for the operator of the other vehicle, Aaron Roark, as well as a passenger identified in police reports as Devon Beach, were injured and taken to the Kentucky River Medical Center while that crash remains under investigation. We will pick it up right after only a brief word or two with coverage of last night's regular meeting of the Paintsville City Council, the resignation of the mayor, and some remarks from one of the council persons to follow. Stay tuned. For high-speed internet starting at 15 meg for all of your gaming, movie, home, and business solutions, or to watch TV, including your favorite local channels without a contract, with hundreds of channels and digital and HD quality, and to stay connected 24/7 with friends and family, a direct line to 911, or to give your business the link it needs, choose telephone service you know is always there. Just click on their link on this site to find out how affordable the latest technology in communications can be. Foothills Communications. Facing up to 30 years in prison on the 3 counts of the 4 that he was found guilty on, newly convicted Mayor Bob Porter of Paintsville opened last night's regular session meeting of the Paintsville City Council with thanks, followed by his resignation before an audience, many of which actually giving him applause and ovation following. Porter saying that he disagreed with the federal government's decision, meanwhile promising an appeal.
Thank you, crowd, for being here. I'd just like to take a moment to express my gratitude to the citizens of Paintsville for letting me be your mayor for the last 10 years. I've told Bonnie many times that the personal fulfillment of helping people and making Paintsville a better place to live and work is the reason I've looked forward to every day that I walked into City Hall during that 10 years. The support I've received from citizens of our city has been truly remarkable. When I've stumbled, the people have been there to encourage me and to make it clear at the polls that they appreciated the job I was doing, that they wanted me to continue even when a few screamed otherwise. To this day, I hear support and encouragement every day. I will always remember and appreciate your outpouring of love, and let it be known that the feeling is mutual. As each of you know, a jury of my peers has recently handed down a verdict of guilty charges brought against me by the federal government. Though I may disagree with the outcome, I must accept the verdict that has been reached. After consultation with my attorney, however, I assure you that we will appeal on several legal grounds. Due to this intent to appeal, I cannot and will not discuss, nor will I participate in any public discussion of this matter. I further must consider what is best interest of the city of Paintsville. It is time for us all to come together to work and fight for the betterment of our city. There are those who will never do this as long as I am mayor. Therefore, I will read my letter of resignation and submit it to the council, after which City Attorney Jeff Baldwin will explain the procedures the law requires to select my successor. We will then address the items on the agenda. Anyone who is here to speak or to disrupt this meeting will not be permitted to do so. And let me say with a smile on my face, I think everybody I see out there looks like supporters. My resignation letter says, Bob Porter hereby submit.
Porter's letter says that his resignation will become effective as of 12 p.m. Sunday, November the 13th. But not everyone is cheering in support of the mayor. Many, in fact, including Paintsville City Councilwoman going into her third term, Sarah Hobson Blair, say that the mayor's resignation was indeed the right thing to do after what she has learned has been an ongoing investigation for several years.
I think he did the right thing because I don't think we can move forward. I don't think as a council we can move forward, and particularly with the new council coming on right at the heels of this, that we need to kind of resolve what has happened and just kind of put it behind us and go forward, because we're not going to be able to with this hanging over our head. I really didn't know that anything of that magnitude had been going on. I was really shocked when all these things came out on him. I was really surprised that it got to that point. I didn't even know all that. I don't think any of us on council were really aware of the magnitude of what had been going on.
Blair says that the city council's attorney has advised him that the city council will be responsible for nominating someone to fill in as mayor up until the next election cycle. They can nominate either someone from the city council or outside the city council. If they do not do so in 30 days or there were to be a tie, the governor would appoint someone in that 30 days' time. There were other items of business discussed during last night's meeting. We'll pick those up on the next program. And in a related matter, as we brought to you last evening and have more to add this evening, Paintsville businessman and also accused in the same case, Ulice Crace, is apparently going to change his plea. He is still due to be in court this coming Monday, but it won't be for trial. As I reported to you yesterday, his trial was set to begin 1 week from yesterday on this coming Monday the 17th at the federal courthouse in Pikeville. This after he was charged in count 5 of the 6-count indictment, which also involved, of course, Bob Porter and Larry Harold. As I reported to you yesterday and earlier, he was ordered to stand trial after a competency evaluation in which the judge and those involved determined that he was fit to stand trial. He did face up to 10 years in prison and up to a $250,000 fine on the single count. As I told you yesterday, he had made a motion through his attorneys requesting rearraignment, just filed earlier today through the courts in the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Kentucky in the Southern Division. It says the matter pending for consideration of Ulice Crace's motion for reassignment, or rearraignment rather, being sufficiently advised, is hereby ordered as follows, and Crace's motion is granted, and therefore rearraignment of Crace shall be held on the same day that his trial was to begin, this coming Monday at 11 o'clock, still at the United States Courthouse in Pikeville. And as I have thus far, we'll continue to follow the case should there be any developments between now and Monday, and of course as soon as Monday's hearing is over, we'll have a report to follow on that evening's program. Now it's time to turn over to a few reminders, a few announcements per tonight's McGoffin Farm Bureau community calendar. Don't forget, ladies, tomorrow is the annual Think Pink Luncheon, 11:50 in the a.m. until 1 at the McGoffin County Extension Service. RSVP was encouraged, but you didn't have to, and you can show up in the morning at 11:50. Very importantly as well, the Prestonsburg VA Clinic is hosting a free flu shot clinic for all veterans in Sagersville. That's this Thursday at the Lloyd M. Hall Community Center. It's going to be from 5 to 7 that evening. If you have any questions, call the Prestonsburg VA at 886-1970. That's the Veterans Flu Clinic at the Community Center in downtown Sagersville, Thursday evening at 5. Don't forget about homecoming and revival at the Sagersville Free Will Baptist Church Friday through Wednesday. That's starting this Friday, and that's going to be with Pastors Todd Masters and then Pastor Barry Clark, with services beginning nightly at 7, except for Sunday, which will be 6 o'clock. So come out, invite someone, bring them with you, and come and share in God's blessings. A reminder about the soup, bean dinner, and gospel singing that's been put together at the Middle Fork Fire Department this coming weekend. That's right, 1 till 6 at the fire department. They're going to have beans on an open fire, taters, kraut, cornbread, and desserts just for $6. And if you're over 70, won't cost a thing. Come on and enjoy them and have a good meal on them. They've got several groups performing and several prizes to be given away. And how about a little action on the golf course, and a little nice fall outing this coming Monday at Stonecrest. That's where you'll want to be if you want to be a part of the 20th Annual United Way Golf Scramble. It's $360 per team, and keep in mind, this goes to support and raise funds for organizations here in McGoffin County. For example, I know of the McGoffin County Rescue Squad and our Senior Citizen Center. Registration starts at 9 next Monday. Play starts at 10 a.m., and if you have any questions, call 886-4480. I'll give you your weather forecast for the Fall Bass Tournament in just a few moments, but regardless, you're going to want to be there if you want to cash in on a $1,000 first place prize. $500 for second, $300 for third. The list goes on. Big prizes, big fish prizes. And they're going to blast off from the Paintsville Lake Marina at 7 o'clock. That's going to be Saturday the 22nd, mind you. I got ahead of myself. I'll still give you the forecast for it, just not as much detail because it's a little farther out than this weekend. At Paintsville Lake Marina, be sure and be there for the Elk Creek Free Will Baptist Annual Fall Open Bass Fishing Tournament. And I don't mess up every single announcement, so they're pretty safe. Go ahead and send them in. We'll get them on. My apologies for that. Bass Fishing Tournament is the 22nd. That's a week from this Saturday. Nevertheless, if you do have a birthday, anniversary, or an announcement like you just heard, it doesn't cost a thing to put it on the show. All you have to do is get it to me any way you can, such as on your screen or dropping it off here at the studio on East Maple Street above the Sagersville Post Office. I think that's all we have for announcements this evening. And indeed, it is. Gives me a few moments to pause, let these folks know that you're watching every chance you have, and we'll be right back with more of your news today. Time to talk football, championship football in McGoffin County in just a moment. Well, I mentioned it last night, just couldn't keep it to myself, but we'll elaborate more on it this evening, and we'll do so right now. That we have champions in our midst, newly crowned champions in our midst, that being our 5th and 6th grade elementary football team in McGoffin County. It was the first season of this format for the grade school teams, and it's turned out to be a very productive one, says their head coach.
Worked out great, actually. Being able to put 3 schools together, make one big team instead of having the teams broken up and having to play each other and fight each other and stuff. Now we've made a team of one McGoffin County and get to play other teams outside the county, and makes us a lot more competitive, obviously, with winning a championship this season.
And Gamble tells me that while it may have actually gotten off to a slow start, our 5th and 6th graders are champions, and the 7th and 8th grade team have their eyes set on the same title.
What's wrapped up so far with 5th and 6th grade Hornets football, we actually started the season 1-0, and then we went on a 5-game losing streak. Continued to battle, teach, learn. Kids worked hard. We changed our scheme. The coaches and I got a great staff that helps me, and we actually went on a 5-game winning streak and was able to defeat South Floyd Raiders in the semifinals at 22-8, and then moved on to the championship game against Knott County, where we was victorious 26-20. It's a great season.
How thrilled were you kids?
Oh my gosh, they were unbelievable. Actually, I'm still on a high myself, so I know they are too. I mean, it was just crazy, just jumping, screaming, hollering. You know, it was just a great time.
So, and you're not done yet?
No, we're not done. 5th and 6th has one more game tomorrow night at Martin County, just to kind of, you know, end the season. But with the 7th and 8th, we are also in the same type of similar situation. We also started 1-0 to start the season. Then we lost 4 games in a row, and we did the same thing basically. We just threw out the playbook, drawn some more plays up, kept coaching the kids. They kept listening and working hard coming to practice, and now we're on a 5-game winning streak, and we get to move tonight to Fleming Neon to take on Fleming Neon in the semifinals of the 7th and 8th grade middle school championship.
And they got there with some big plays like this. Check out Caleb Howard, ball carry, number 86. He will not go down from the 40. Numerous attempts at tackle unsuccessful, and watch him go. A couple of videos I picked up from a couple of very proud mamas Facebook pages, including this one. Not sure where the buzz is coming from. Aiden Barnett in the championship game, after a pass, Prater strips the ball. Aiden Barnett is going to pick it up, and with a big block by Mason Lovely, maybe a 98-yard touchdown run. It's coming into view here, I do believe. There, he has the ball. I'm with it now, and so is Aiden Barnett. Check this out.
Actually, I would like to step back, even to Mr. Holbrook that got all the youth started. He brought it together where we could have great school football, and then with Mr. Helton stepping in and the school board members and the principals coming together, I asked for this to happen, begged for it to happen actually, and thankfully they put it all together, and to be rewarded with the championship in the first season of this county team is just outstanding. I'm so glad, I hope everybody feeds off this and we make a winning attitude with McGoffin County sports. That's what we've been lacking, and now we're doing it, and I just want to see it build from here all the way up to Coach Combs, is where he can start getting the same players I have and even more, and just continue winning championships. That's what I want to be about McGoffin County.